welcome back everybody. It's me, the web streamer person, doing video personality, man, person. Um, Today we're reviewing the Arturia Microfreak, and I'm gonna do some in-depth stuff that probably some other channels never thought to do. So I hope that you really like my video. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this thing so far is that it has a 12-volt power supply. So I got so many extra power supplies laying around for 12 volts. So when I lose the power supply or leave it at home for a gig, you can find a replacement with some third-party gear. It's really easy to do without having, to take an Uber or something, just because you're on your third DUI. The man thinks you haven't learned your lesson, and a power electronics performance art band isn't considered a real job according to the judge, so you don't get to get driving work privileges. The cable fits really neatly in the synth, and it has this little power brick that is cool instead of a wall wart. So I always prefer that. Also, it has a USB supply here, and that's really important to me because I can power it with a battery brick for portability. A lot of times I like to play synths in the bathtub, but I get worried about wires hanging around the water, so this would be perfect for you if you're like me. I've heard people like to go to the park and bring their gear and stuff, but I don't really like bathing in public. So secondly, the display. Look at this cute little display here. It's like a little Tamagotchi. I want to hand feed this thing synth little digital meatballs and spaghetti and take it outside every couple hours, to go to the bathroom. Plus, it just looks cool. I like the display. So, yeah, and those dinosaur synth elitists with old analog gear are just jealous that it has little animations and the tiny micro MIDI cable connector. So it's really about pissing off the dinosaur analog synth elitists. I like to show them pics of my Behringer gear and drink their tears. Ultimately, it's really a competition, right? I'm never going to win on the musical chops or the social status end of being an artist, but at least I could win the psychological battle, when it comes to mind games. So thirdly, aesthetics. There's orange and gray, knobs. It's looking pretty cool. Plus, there's creamy off-white gray knobs and black knobs, too. I like the mix of the colors, although I wish there's a few more orange knobs. So, Arturia, if you're listening, maybe do more orange knobs next time, I'm not some... normally, I'm not too concerned about aesthetics and, form over function. But when it comes to wearing uncomfortable shoes and trying to draw attention to yourself walking in the room, even if it makes you walk really slow and duck under doorways. So, also, there's a cute little etching pattern here. Reminds me of this dream I once had where I was flying a peacock into the sunset, and but I had really good sunglasses and sunblock SPF 10 million. So, fourthly, the lack of keyboard keys to press down here. So if you're like me, you're always breaking the keys of your synthesizer after kicking over the keyboard stand multiple times during the set, or maybe on purpose or accident. So I don't always do heavy performance art stuff in my set, but I do always trip over a cable or accidentally bump the thing off the stand every gig. So sometimes the screws and the stand get loose also, and the gear just slides off the whole rig. I hate it when it happens in the beginning of the set. So, or early in the middle of the set. If it happens at the end of the set, then that's not so bad because it adds like a dramatic effect, a little fancy ending. And I'm usually not playing very good set anyway, so it's cool to end early. Leave them wanting more, or if they don't like you, then they will be less as annoyed by you. So fifthly, it has this little ribbon here, which can do some modulations and stuff. But sometimes I just like to wear the ribbon as an accessory in my hair because I think it looks cute. Sixthly, I like about this synth is the font for the buttons here. It's one of the most important features on Pro Gear for me. If I see another synth with Comic Sans font, I will just Ralph. They went with Helvetica, which is one of my top 20 favorite all-time fonts. So I only did this review because most gear video reviewers on Vimeo want to bore you to death with examples of the sounds of the machines. I prefer to get a little deeper than the superficial details, that anyone could just figure out by reading internet rumors. If I want to hear the actual gear sounds, I'll just buy the thing and plug it into my speakers and turn the knob the right way. Do you ever notice these people always turn the knobs wrong? And on top of that, there's lots of times they turn the completely wrong knob. Sometimes I think they're just making it up as they go. I mean, 1.1 million followers and they can't even turn the right knob? Give me a break. I'm working on a compilation of wrong knob turn fail vids, and it's going to be really radical. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to one of those other people's gear channels because the wrong knob thing is so funny. You'll really see it more often if you know what to look for. So stay tuned for more tips and tricks, and be sure to catch my variety talk show every weeknight at 10 p.m. EST on the dark web.